Hey everyone, so I have another tutorial for you today actually because I had loads of requests to do the makeup I was wearing in my outfit of the day video, which I recently uploaded. Yeah, everyone wanted to know how I did the eyeshadow in that, and it's actually really simple, and this is the look that I was wearing, but obviously it looks a bit different because in this I didn't apply false eyelashes, just because I'm not actually going out and I thought it would be a waste. But in that video I was wearing fake eyelashes, and I was wearing the Girls Aloud Nicola eyelashes, if you're wondering. If you're wondering where I've been recently, you can probably tell from my voice I've been ill yet again. I've been really quite ill for the past 2 weeks, so that's why I haven't made another video. But I'm hoping to be back, and I just thought I'd fill you in. If you follow me on Twitter, you will actually already know this. You'll know that the last tutorial I uploaded was a inspired look from a character in a book, and you guys said that you really liked that series and you wanted me to continue doing it, and recently I've just been reading The Hunger Games, and I actually finished the second one in the series this weekend. So I'm about to start the third book, but I really want to do an inspired look on Katniss for, I think it's her first TV interview. I think that's the scene I remember. But anyway, I just remember thinking, oh my god, I have to do a tutorial on what I imagined her to look like for this scene, because I just thought it would be, I don't know, fun to do. So I'm hoping to upload another one of those kind of booked tutorials quite soon. So keep your eyes out for that if you're reading The Hunger Games or thinking of reading it or whatever. They're seriously good books, definitely recommend them. But yeah, apart from that, I will let you get in to see how I did this look. First, to prep the skin, I used my Soap & Glory Hocus Focus. It's just a kind of shimmery, iridescent lotion. I just like to put this on because I feel it just makes my face look a bit more, I don't know, three-dimensional, especially after I've powdered my face. I feel like it can make it look a bit flat almost. So by putting this underneath, it just helps bring a bit of life back to it. But this definitely isn't good for anyone who has oily skin, because this product can leave a kind of dewy residue. I would go on to a primer of some sort, but I'm not actually going to put this on today simply because it's a Sunday afternoon and I'm probably going to take this off as soon as I've finished it. So I'm not going to put this on today, but normally I would use this, which is the Clarins Beauty Flash Balm. It looks like this. It's just a tiny bottle. This is quite expensive, but it's a really amazing primer. You just kind of put it on and you don't really rub it in, you just kind of make one direction strokes, so you would always smooth it in one direction. I don't really know why, but there's something to do with the particles it's made up of where it just grips onto the makeup. So this is really good, but I'm not going to apply this today. And then I would just prime my eyes with a bit of Decay primer potion, just all the way up to the brow and also a bit under the eye. And then go ahead and rub that in. I had so many requests to show you how I wore my eyeshadow in my outfit of the night video, which I think is kind of funny because it's actually really similar how I do my everyday eyeshadow. It's just a lot darker. I kind of vamped up a bit as I was going out, obviously. But every time I go out, I always wear the same eyeshadow. So once you kind of master this technique, it's actually really quick and easy to get ready, which is what I really like. So as always, I take my face powder, which is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in light medium. And I take that on a flat eyeshadow brush and just apply that all over my eyelids. Then I take a fluffy tapered brush and my Stila It Girl palette, which is this one here. I take this kind of warm brown colour right here, which is called Americano. Just apply that through my crease. And I leave it quite dark because then I go back and blend. So once I have that on and it's kind of dramatic, I take a clean fluffy brush and just buff out the edges. Then I go to my Sleek palette. This is the Storm palette, and I take this bronzy brown shade right here, and I take that on a 217, just really load up my brush. Now this colour does give quite a lot of fallout, which is why I do my face makeup last. But yeah, I just pick up a load of that on the brush, and twist it so it's at this angle, and then I just really kind of in small circular motions just buff that through my outer corner just here. So I just place that colour first and I'm going to go back and blend second. So I just place it where I want it to be, like the most intense. Just keep buffing it through until I have most of the colour deposited on the eye. Pick up my clean, fluffy brush and just buff through the edges and blend it all through. You can also run it a bit here on that line just to kind of smooth everything out, make it blend a bit more. Now I don't take any of the eyeshadows under the eye until after I've applied my concealer, which may seem a bit backwards to some people, but that's just the way I do it. So that's pretty much all I would do on the upper eye. Sometimes I might go back to the Stila palette and take this kind of darker brown colour. It has gold shimmer in. This is called Eve. Sometimes I would go to that on a pencil brush and just buff that along my lash line, but for today I'm not going to do that. My throat really hurts. Oh, okay. So at this point I would usually go to my eyeliner, and I use MAC Teddy, which I've been using for absolutely years. I love this so much. It's just a really nice dark. I run this a bit along my upper eye, just here, and then I take my finger and just try and smudge that out as much as I can. Just like that. And then I would also run this through my tight line. I would then go to my Flash eyeliner from Rimmel. This is absolutely amazing. I use this every single day. It's just a really thin kind of felt tip eyeliner. And then all I do with this is kind of tilt my head back, just create a wing. And then after that I'll apply mascara, which I typically either use the Benefit They're Real, or I've recently discovered the False Lash Telescopic. And you guys know that I love the Telescopic original one, and this I guess is the newer version to make it look like you have false lashes, so I'll use either of them. And then I would also apply false eyelashes, but again, for the purpose of today, I'm not going to apply false lashes, but if I'm going to a club, I would definitely apply false lashes, but then again, I will only wear them depending on where I'm going, so yeah, you can kind of tweak it to kind of fit where you're going. Today I'm going to use the False Lash Telescopic mascara and just apply a bit of that, and then I will move on to the rest of the face. I've done my mascara on my top lashes. I haven't done anything to my bottom lashes yet because I'm going to wait till I've done my concealer and everything. So now I go on to the actual face makeup, and I don't actually use foundation when I go out. I've actually gone back to my BB cream. This is the Skin 79 Super Plus BB cream. I just feel like this BB cream gives a really flawless finish, even though it doesn't have that much coverage. I just feel like it makes everything look more flawless without actually looking like you're wearing a load of foundation or anything, which I like. So I find that as long as I powder this well, it stays on for the whole night. So I much prefer this to using a foundation. So then once I've applied that, I'll go on to concealer, and I will either use my Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer, which I've been using for years, which I really like, or it will be the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection concealer, which I would say this is kind of like a really cheap drugstore version of this, which is the Estee Lauder one. So yeah, they're pretty much exactly the same. It just depends whichever one's in my makeup bag. I think today I will use the Collection 2000 one, and I'm in the colour Fair, if you're wondering. And I will literally just apply this anywhere I need extra coverage. So usually I put it a bit on my chin, sometimes at the base of my cheeks, around my nose, and sometimes right here as well. Just kind of dot it really messily, and then I just take my foundation brush and just blend it through. And then to powder my skin, I go back to my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, which I absolutely love, and then I take this big powder brush from Sigma. This was the SS150, but I'm pretty sure they've changed the name of it now, but it's just a really thick brush. You could almost use a kabuki brush, it would probably do the same thing. And all I do to powder my skin is I kind of dab it in the powder, like straight like this, and I just tap it off a bit, but you can see it's still got a bunch of powder on it. And instead of kind of wiping it across my face, I literally dab it across the whole of my skin. And this locks in everything without kind of making it move around or rubbing it off. So I just... As for my bronzer, it really depends where I'm going. If I'm going somewhere where the lighting is more likely to be natural daylight, or not daylight, but bright lights, I will use a less harsh bronzer, probably the Chanel, what is this, bronze, it was the Bronze Universal, but they've changed the name. I can't remember, but I'll write it below, which is, kind of looks scary in the pot, but this is a kind of mousse formula, so it's a lot lighter on the skin, doesn't look as harsh. But again, the makeup I was wearing in the outfit of the night video, which is what was requested for, that was for a club, so my bronzer was a little bit darker, simply because the lighting was going to be darker. So for that I used my H&M bronzing powder, which I've featured again in loads of videos, and then I'll really concentrate it under my cheekbones. So right down here. And then I'll just blend it upwards a bit onto my temples and through the hairline. And then I'll just dust a bit along my chin, maybe down the sides of my nose and kind of at the bottom. And then onto my neck. This is not picking up any more product, this is just kind of blending whatever is left on the brush. And then finally just sweep it over the cheeks. And then at this point I can go and just fill in my brows with a angled brush and a brown eyeshadow. And then I'll just take a bit of my Bloom Illuminizer. This is from Superdrug. It's just a really nice shimmery gold kind of stick cream. Take a bit of that. It's kind of flesh toned. And just apply that under the arch of my brow. I forgot to do my concealer earlier, so I will do it now. And I use the YSL Touche Eclat. But another great dupe for this is Sleek Makeup's Luminaire Concealer, which I use. Apply a bit of this under my eye. Through with my ring finger. And then with my tapered fluffy brush, which I use to apply my crease colour, I don't pick up any new eyeshadows, but I just buff that along my lash line. And the residue colour just adds to the lower lash line and helps just blend all the colours through. And then I'll take my fingers again and just make sure it's a really soft line, blending that colour through. And I'll go back to my Teddy eyeliner from MAC and just smudge that along the outer part of the lower lash line. Here. Also apply a bit of it to the waterline in the outer corner. And again, use my fingers to blend. Apply mascara to my bottom lip. For my blusher, I use the Avon blusher in the colour Russet, which looks like this. Looks kind of bright on camera, but if you use it with a light hand, it's really, really pretty. And I take my foundation brush and just run that over it to blend it all through a bit more. And then finally, for my lips, I take this Cargo lip liner in the colour Rose, which looks like this. It's kind of like a deeper nude. All I do with this is apply it to my Cupid's bow to define it, and also at the bottom of my lip, and then I smudge it through loads so it doesn't look like a harsh line, but it just adds a bit of definition to my lips. So I just draw an outline there, blend it down, do the same on my bottom lip, and then I really, really blend that through, just with my finger. And then for my lip gloss, I just apply my Laura Mercier lip gloss, and this is in the colour Sparkling. And that completes the makeup that I was wearing in my outfit of the night video that I recently uploaded, but obviously in that video I was wearing fake eyelashes as well. But it's really so simple. It's just a bronzy eye, really simple, a bit smoky, kind of flush corally cheeks, and then just a kind of peachier gloss, and that's like it. And I do this every single time I go out. I will list all the products I use below. I know there was quite a lot of them, but I will list them below and possibly put links to them if I can. But yeah, I hope you liked it, I hope it was helpful, and I shall see you all soon.